Hello everyone. The next concept, qualification of auditor. According to the section 226 of 1 and 226 of 2 of the Companies Act, the prescribed qualification of an auditor are as follows. The first one, who is chartered accountant. C. A person who is a chartered accountant within the meaning of the Chartered Accountant Act 1946 49, he can be appointed as an auditor in the company who holds a certificate. If the person who holds a certificate under the restrictions of auditor certificate rules 1956, he also qualified to act like a auditor in the company. And a person passed any examination under the Chartered Accountant of India, any Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, and be a member of Institute of Chartered Accountant, he can be appointed as a auditor in the company. The disqualification, if he involving any body corporate activity, company activities, if he is involved, he can be disqualified as a post of auditor. And if he is involving in any employee of the company or partner of the company or any officer in the company or holding any security of the company, he can be disqualified, is not eligible to appoint as an auditor in the company. A person who is a partner or who is in employment or officer of the employee of the company, we can be disqualified from the auditor post. A person holding any security after a period of 1 year from the date of commencement of the Companies Act 2000. These are all the disqualification by the auditor. The next one, what are all the rights and powers of an auditor? We'll see one by one. The first one, right to inspect all the books. See, is having the right to inspect all the books. So means as per section 227 of 1 of the Companies Act, every auditor of the company has to right to access all the times of books of account and vouchers of the company. See, if any company is going to be appointing the auditor in the company, the auditor have the rights to inspecting all the books of accounts in the any time of the company. The second one, right to ask information and clarification and explanation. See, if a company going to be appointing any auditor have the rights to call for meeting for collecting any information or explanation from any different officers of the company. It is necessary for to collecting the information from the respective officer. The next one, right to get notice from the general meeting. Right to receive. Auditor have the rights to receive the notices and other communication relating to general meeting and to attend them. See, if in case company going to be appointing any auditor in the company, is having the right to receive the notice. If in case any general meeting have to be held in the company, is having the right to receive the notice before holding the any general meeting in the company. The next one, right to make a statement in the meeting. See, he has to make a statement what all the discussion are going on in the general meeting. He has to make a statement after the completion of the meeting. And the next one, right to visit the branches. See, according to section 228 of the Companies Act, the auditor of the company has to right to visit the branch office or offices of the company, because for visiting the offices or branches only, you can get the collecting information based on the any depreciation method, or it may be in the any materials method, or it may be the collecting the information, or it may be in the checking the vouchers along with book entry. It is helpful for to understanding. The next one, right to take legal and technical advice. So if in case any he should having the any rights to take the any technical or legal advice from the officers of the company, or it may be in the any other auditors of the company. Yes, he has having the right to collect the information from a technical, or it may be the legal advice from the others people. And right to ask for remuneration. Auditor going to be work as per the rules made by the company and as per the central government also. Is having the right to ask for the remuneration what is doing the work. Based on his job, the company going to be allotted the remuneration for his work. The next one, right to sign audit report. See, as per section 229 of the Companies Act, only the person appointed as auditor of the company, where firm is so appointed, only a partner of the firm practicing India may sign the audit report. See, one who are completed the Chartered Accountant of India only is eligible to sign the audit report after the completion of the report in the company. The next one, right to correction of wrong statement. If in case any officer doing the or preparing the wrong statement, the auditor having the rights to make a statement in a newly form. This is the right to correction of wrong statement by the auditors in the company. The next one, the next concept, duties of an auditor. According to the Companies Act, according to the legal decision, what are the duties of having by the auditor in the company? The first one, checking the accounts. Auditor having the rights to checking all the accounts in the particular financial year. Is having the rights to access all the information along the explanation or it may be the clarification from the respective people and have the rights to collect the information from the respective people. The next one, checking the liabilities. See, auditor having the rights to checking all the liabilities. Liabilities are the expenses in the company. That liability should be always involved in the company activities only. The auditor going to be check whether the liabilities are to be linked with any personal expenses or not. That also auditor going to be verify. The next one, ask the information. If any information is needed by the auditor having the right to ask the information or clarification from the respective officer in the respective department. The next one, balance sheet and P&L account. From the day 1 to till the last one, the auditor going to have the rights to collect the information from the respective people and checking all the balance sheet and P&L account. What are the transactions are to be held and what are the transactions are to be passed in the company is going to be linked with any like shares of the company and how much shares are issued and how much shares are reissued. Auditor going to be verified and collecting the information and checking the receipt bill along with vouchers. The next one, report to shareholders or secretary. After preparing after verifying the accounts or collecting the information and checking all the balance sheet and P&L account from the perspective viewer, and that auditor going to be present the opinion based on this company activity and is going to be preparing the report based on the company activity. The auditor duty is to submit the report to the shareholders or secretary of the company. As I told in the beginning, that report should not be involved in any personal expenses or it may be the personal activity, only related to the company activities only. The next duty is book entries are not related to the personal expenses. As I told you that book entry, if any expenses are to be entered in the company activity, that liabilities or expenses should not be involved or related to the any personal expense of the respective person. And duty to state the reason. See, if in case any report are to be prepared by the expenses are to be entered in the company activity. In case of answer of any point stated above is or negative, if the auditor required to explain the reason for the answer of his report. The duty to sign the audit report. It is the duty of auditor to sign the audit report before sending to the secretary of the company. The next one, duty, give a report upon the prospectus. See, auditor required to give the report upon the prospectus issued by an existing company. He should also give report on the assets, liabilities and profit and loss of the company. The next duty is statutory report. So the auditor has to certify the correctness of statutory report with regarding the number of shares allotted by the company, or it may be the cash or it may be the credit shares are issued, and the total amount of cash received by the company in respect of shares allotted and like distinguishing or any forfeiture of shares are happened. The next duty is duty to inquire about the true and fair statement of affairs of the company and submit proper report. Auditor have the rights to prepare the true and fair transactions in the company and that report should submit the audit secretary of the company or shareholders of the company. The next duty is duty to verify himself cash in and not be negligent of his work. Is having the duty to assist all the investigators in the company and submit the report regarding about the cash in hand and he is not involving in any negligence of his work, then only the audit report will be come properly. The next one, duty to verify the investigators. See, in case of affairs of the company is to be investigated, the auditor should assist the investigator and in every possible manner. He should produce his working papers relating to audit when asked for his investigators. These are all the duties by an auditor as per the Companies Act and according to the legal decision. The next one, liabilities of an company auditor. So liabilities are like of a company auditor, like civil liability or criminal liability or professional misconduct. See, we'll see by one. The first one, civil liability, liability for negligence. The negligence happened, the liability of an auditor arises where it is proved that his client has sufficient loss due to his professional negligence. I mean, if in case a negligence happened from the auditor, the client having the right to case on the negligence of work by the auditor in the company. These are all the liability and he should be punishable with fine, and that he was negligent as a result of negligence of a company has suffered a loss, that is the loss suffered by a person. The auditor owed a duty and not see the any articles of association and not to object of payment of dividend out of capital and not to verify cash and petty cash or it may be any statement of affairs is always involving in any negligence of work, he should be punishable. The next one, liabilities of misfinance. I mean, any breach of trust or duty where the auditor performs his duty negligently and the company suffer a loss on his account, auditors is held liable for misfinance and is indemnity to company of such loss. Then also he should be liable under the company's law. The next one, criminal liability. The first one, liability for misstatement in the prospectus. I mean, like where an auditor make false statement or misstatement in prospectus, like materials particulars in returns or reports, prospectus of other statements, knowing to be false or omits any material facts, knowing them to be false. He shall be punishable with the imprisonment for a minimum term of 6 months extendable to 10 years. See, if he know is doing the mistake, then also is involving any false statement, is punishable with 6 months to extend of 10 years, punishable with fine. That is when the liable to pay regarding about the misstatement in the prospectus of the company. The next one, failure to assist investigation. See, like as we know that with the central government appoints the inspector to investigate the affairs of the company, it is a duty of an auditor to preserve and produce the inspector all books and papers relating to the company. The next one, failure to like penalty for deliberate act of commission or omission, section 448. See, if in case any deliberate commission of omission, any officer including auditor of the company deliberately make a statement in any return, report or certificate or balance sheet or it may be the prospectus which is false or which contains omission or material facts, he shall be punishable with not less than 6 months to extent of 10 years and with fine. He is going to be liable. And the next one, prosecution of auditor, failure to return property, books or papers and penalty for falsification of books. I mean, if in case of any auditor going to be prepared any falsification of books, is going to be punishable. And failure to return properly books or papers. Any officer, including auditor, is suspected like in the possession of the property, books or papers of the company. The next liability is professionally misconduct liability. The profession accountancy is governed by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India under the Chartered Accountant of 1949. It fails to disclose the material fact and fails to report material and misstatement and is grossly negligent and is involving in any false statement preparation, fails to invite attention of any material departure in the company then is going to be liable as the professionally misconduct in the activities. We'll see the next concept in the next class.